going to berate anybody anymore. I'm not going to belittle you. Unless you say something like otherly, uncouth. But I see some folks have taken pity on me because I've accepted reality. You see, the thing is this: there's still a large number of people out there living in this dream world that, because the show isn't getting double digit in the million ratings anymore, the show is dying, the show has failed, and the ratings are slipping, blah, blah, blah. And I go, the ratings have been slipping since Matt Smith took over. And it's not Matt Smith's fault, it's not Moffat's fault. It's called streaming television began to take hold after the beginning of the Matt Smith era. That's when it started really taking off. And so more and more people were getting their program via a streaming service or, through some other form of availability. Also, you get more people who are getting TiVo and shit like that. It's like, so they can watch the program at their leisure. And it's just a simple fact. Doctor Who, like I said, on the overnights beat Strictly Come Dancing on Christmas Day. And it's like, but the show's failing. And I'm like, so now you're telling me Strictly Come Dancing is failing because Doctor Who beat it. I can't remember what the actual final consolidated is. I'll have to go look, see if that flipped or not. It's been a while since I read into that. But every single time you tell them the show's doing well, they always go, that's because the whole brand is on the iPlayer. And I go, yes, but that's the thing. Today's show is just as much as part of the classic era as the classic era is part of it. All that lore over the past, over half a century now, literally, has built on itself to the point we are at now. The thing to ponder, though, is the fact that, everyone's going on because Shooty picked up this role and another thing. So now the speculation once again is he's leaving at the end of this series. It's like, here's the thing. I'm not going to berate him. I'm not going to belittle him. I'm not going to throw a fit for making that decision. Look at how warm and welcoming some of the fan base has been. And people wonders why no one wants to star on the show. No one wants to run this show. No one wants to even touch this show with a 50-foot pen to write any of it anymore. It's, it's like, because no matter what you do or what you say, for some parts of the fandom, it's never going to be good enough ever until they get a white guy running the TARDIS again. And I'm sorry, guys, but the hour came around at last where they needed to change things up. Well, the thing is this. Everyone's going on, there might be a hiatus. Yeah, there might be a hiatus. And the reason being is because even though they got this 2-series deal, now now Disney's making them sit back and wait. And by the time they get a decision, one way or the other, when are they going to start filming? So it may be a year before we get more Doctor Who. You see. So that may be it, for a while. No, Clint Howard is far more attractive than me. He was also on Star Trek. Yeah, also he was Johnson in the Austin Powers movies. And those little clips with the rocket and the satellite and whatever. So I know who you're talking about, yeah. No, Clint Howard's way better looking than I am. Trust me on this. I have a face only a mother could love. All right. So it was going to happen because of the fact that Disney's going to sit back and wait to the last minute. And the thing is this. Everyone's like, well, that means the show's flopping. They should have gotten an answer immediately. No, it's called Disney's playing conservative now because so many things have blown up in Disney's face lately. Look at what happened with The Mandalorian. Not The Mandalorian, The Asshole Light. The Mandalorian was pretty good. I don't know why they didn't keep that going. Sheesh. I just read the article. Now my brain's blanking, but I shared the article up, I think, on the Dr. Freedom page on Facebook. But the fact of the matter is, Doctor is still going strong after all these years. It's still a major player. It's still a major contender. And it's, you're ruling it out before the count. But at the same time, as I said, by the time they get a decision from Disney, when are they going to start filming for next year? Then they have to pull everything together to get filming started. Then, now, as far as we knew, I think Russell said something about, he's already got plans for the third series in place, allegedly. But like I said, won't find out till we get a decision. And like I said, but look at Disney. Disney's playing conservative because the asshole light blew up in their face. They put somebody in charge of the show who had never directed or anything before. And then they entered this lady in an interview. You basically go in and act like you know what you're doing. So that's why I died laughing when people were hopping on Chibnall. Chibnall had run a show. He pretty much ran Series 2 of Torchwood. And then, of course, now Torchwood, all they can bring up is the orgasm creature and blah, blah, and of course, Cyberwoman. It's like, yeah, but you're reading about shows like Countryside, Exit Wounds. And to me, Countryside was one of the best episodes of Torchwood there ever was. Talk about creepy as hell. The problem is this. There was a lot of people who were also living in this dream world that Peter Jackson was actually going to take over the show. It's like, that was never going to happen. Peter Jackson is too busy sitting in New Zealand having meetings with Jim Cameron over who actually owns most of New Zealand. Who has the biggest farm? Which islands do we own today? It's like, he's not coming back to the U.S., and I don't blame him. Shit, if I could move to New Zealand, I probably would. Things have gone so wackety in this world, it's crazy. You got countries passing. Here's the thing. I'm not a religious guy, but we now got countries passing laws limiting religion. And I'm not talking just about China. It's disturbing. The real world can be more disturbing than your weirdest, scariest horror movie. Yeah, that was Children of Earth, which had Capaldi in it as John Frobisher. I believe it was John. I never remember it was Frobisher. I think it was John Frobisher. Look that up to be sure. No, but Peter Jackson, the guy made more money off those damn hobbits than God. It's like, and Jim Cameron, look at how much his movies were raking in. He's too busy building undersea vessels. He actually built, and he designed and had one built, that one that went all the way down into the Challenge Deep, which is like miles down in the ocean. And he was one of the guys that should have been called when because he actually knows his shit as far as underwater exploration goes. He isn't just a pretty face who rode around a submarine. This guy designs those things now, deep sea vessels. And trust me, the stuff he had to say about that whole wreck, that happened with the Titanic expedition, the crap, it'll hit me in about a minute. That whole expedition where the thing imploded. And here's the one thing I can't stand more than anything. I know I'm way off, Doctor, but I got to say this. Those imbeciles who keep showing the wreckage of that submersible that imploded. Thank you, the Titan submarine. Where are the bodies? What part of the submarine imploded didn't they get? There are there are no physical bodies. There's remains, yes, but there's crushed into probably a tin can no bigger than a frickin' soda can. All right, but here's the one thing before you go freaking out on me. It was literally over in 0.0001 of a second. More, faster than a thousandth of a second, which means their brains didn't even have time to register what happened. It was over that fast. I think it's a 1/100th of a thousandth of a second or something like that. I remember it's tens, hundreds, thousands. I think, yeah. Like I said, I don't do math anymore. Like the current generation, I have machines that do it for me. Because I have so few brain cells left. But yeah, I die, Leo. Like I said, you can leave whatever comments you want on the channel. I'm not going to berate you. I'm not going to belittle you. It's just amazing to me that everyone ignores the facts of the show still here. Couldn't they have brought scuba gear with them and swam to safety? No. Titanic is about 2 miles underwater. Okay? The human body would implode into a thing like a jellyfish in not even a second. That submarine, literally in 1/100,000th of a second, was no bigger than was crushed like a can. Trust me, if anything goes wrong when you're a couple miles down, you might as well be on the moon. Because there's literally just about nothing we can do to save you. That's the big risk of deep sea diving, especially extreme deep. Like those guys who found the Sammy B. Roberts, or the Sammy B. That thing is the deepest known wreck that we have on record. It's like 4.5 miles underwater. Well, the Challenger shuttle, it wasn't the depth that it landed in. They were able to find the main cabin section, and there are reports that there were people alive in the cabin after the crash. Sadly. But by the time they figured out where plus there was supposed to be a thing to jettison the cabin in case of an emergency, but I don't think they even had time to operate it. Yeah, I saw that clip last night with Miss Flood and we got Verada see-through as Belinda. But, to me, they're giving too much away. It's like, come on, the show's going to be on this weekend, for crying out loud. But as I said before, let's get back to reality. The show's still here for now. But the problem is we've got a big fat question mark on what's going to go on after this series airs. Because until Disney gives them a decision, they can't put plans into place to start filming. So it could be that Shooty went off to do this project as a time killer. Or it could be Shooty has left the show. We don't know either way. Me, I'm getting nothing out of Bad Wolf these days. And it's like, matter of fact, I don't think I hardly got anything out of Bad Wolf as it is. Like I said, it's clamped down tighter than a virgin's legs on prom night. It's like the Iron Curtain of Wales, okay? Ugh. Yep, I believe that they call that area the Challenger. It's one of the deepest areas in the world, and It's like, damn. But once again, folks, the show's still here. And until we get a final word from Disney, and like I said, Disney's playing conservative because look at the debacle that happened with the asshole light that ended up, I think that one series was somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'm not sure what the final figure was. It was like $350 million. They way went over budget, and the thing bombed harder than Hiroshima. This was a 20 megaton warhead on the ratings here. We're talking, like I said, we'll find out what we find out. The best thing you can do is deal with what's in front of you today, and then we'll keep moving forward. If it's good news, yay. If it's bad news, we'll live with it, okay? Take care, everyone. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll catch you all tomorrow because, yes, we are working tomorrow. So if you want a little bonus episode, pop in with me here tomorrow morning. So take care, everyone. Enjoy your Friday. Have a great day. Oh, I forgot to hit the button. Hang on there. Oh, wrong button. No.